within the last week or so, I've cracked the milestone of 2,000 subscribers, and there are many people who are saying congratulations, whoop-de-doo, this is wonderful. Um, but I've taken sort of a double-edged sword manner of viewing this, which is primarily rooted in the belief that when you have subscribers, theoretically those are people who are doing that so they can check out or otherwise be the first ones to know about things you are producing or making or coming up with. Now, if anyone is to go off the numbers of my recent content, bar 2 videos this year, you will notice most things get under 1,000 views, which means that less than half of those subscribed are actually checking things out. And a lot of times you've had it to where videos will get 30, 40, 50 views. For the people that checked it out, I'm very appreciative of that. I think those who are regularly watching my content are the benefactors and backbone of the channel. I placed them on a pedestal here because we produce things and we like for people to see those things. So that was part of the reason for why I didn't make anything relating to the milestone being cracked, because it didn't feel that way other than just the number. And look, you can argue, all of this is numbers. The views you get on your videos are numbers. The people who are subscribed are numbers. But when I see 2,000 people subbed and I see 50, 60, 70 views after several days, that lets me know that not even half of my entire subscriber base, if you want to call it that, is actually committed to just going and watching my content. And things of this nature don't really make me want to... It does this thing where I feel restricted because I'm over here wondering, well, are they not liking this topic? Are they not favoring this topic? For very long, I came to the belief that if I did things or focused on matters that were political, I would see viewership go down. I would see people not want to check it out. I would see people just completely withdraw from trying to witness anything I had to say or otherwise indicate. But what's caused me to sort of distance myself from that view is that there are channels such as TYT or Secular Talk where you have thousands of people going and watching, a several minutes long video about some current event. So it's not the topic, it's just an unwillingness to participate. And I'm not saying I have some puppet master control over those who check things out. Quite the contrary. I've tried many gimmicks to engineer that wanting to watch it. I've tried to be funnier. I've tried to be scripted and read something off and then keep it concise. I've tried to go off the belief that maybe this is too long. Maybe someone doesn't want to hear someone talk for 10 minutes, even though oftentimes we go and watch movies that are 2 hours long and don't complain, but whatever. I've just had the belief that there are things that can be done to try and work around this. And so when you try those different things and you see it not really getting any better, you concede and say, well, I enjoy what I'm doing. If someone wants to check it out, I will be happy with that. If they don't, I can only produce what I am trying to make. And that can't be dominated by, some number on the screen. Am I saying now that I don't want anyone to check it out? The opposite. But there needs to be stability when it comes to views for me to want to be happy that there is this subscriber number. If it doesn't translate to a larger group checking out what I have to say or what I'm producing, then it becomes a non-factor. It's just this thing that you say, oh, how many subscribers are, oh, this, oh, how many views are averaging, 10, 11, 12. Things of that nature just don't go together. And I really don't want this to seem as if I'm complaining, but I'd rather people not subscribe if they're not going to make the effort to regularly watch stuff I have to put out, or that I put out rather. Um, sometimes it's over one video, someone watches, they go, oh, I subscribed. But if you're not a returning viewer, then what's the point? Sometimes we think we gift people with our subscription, but the gift loses a lot of its luster when it doesn't have a return investment where that person keeps wanting to see what the person is doing. And even in talking now, I had this thing where I said, oh man, is this going to be seen as me moping and whining and crying about the lack of views? And I concluded that as long as it's expressed in a manner that is respectful of those who are checking things out, who are doing what I feel the purpose of being a subscriber is, which is actively being involved with that channel or its content, then I have no complaints with them. And really the people who are not doing it, I don't complain with them at all. I just say that what is the point of subscribing if you're not going to fit that definition? And that doesn't mean watching every single thing I put out, but here and there, just this was 2 days ago. Let me watch this. Oh, 3 days passed. Let me watch this. I don't think a lot of people are making that effort. I'm not saying they have to, but I prefer it. So, hopefully this has made some sense. A lot of times when you talk about things in this perspective of just pulling yourself back and saying, wait a second, do I really favor the way this is done? Do I think this is being construed in a manner that is appropriate or otherwise beneficial? You sometimes will receive critique, or those who think that your way of expression sounds more of a demand. And this is just a request that if you go out and decide to subscribe, try to watch things regularly and make the effort that I don't see being done on here at this point. Does that mean it could never happen and that it's impossible and me speaking about this will not do anything at all? Quite the contrary. But I do think when you start to say things and not just leave it to where I wonder what he's thinking as the person who's uploading this and only getting 1,000th of the views he got on his other stuff, I think in speaking about it, it brings it more to the forefront. So hopefully this has made some sense. Thank you, and have a good Saturday.